Thanks for tuning in to the Phoenix Blokes podcast with Benny and Boydie, part of the Blokes Podcast Network, which is a place where mates create. Visit the website at www.blokespodcast.com for more information. All right, Phoenix fans, there's only one thing left to do. Rise up.
Live from our southeast Melbourne studios, I'm Boydie.
And I'm Benny, and we are the Phoenix Blokes, your podcast home for all things Southeast Melbourne Phoenix basketball. And we are on Skype. Let's hope we don't have any technical issues or any animal issues. Might see the dog pop up in the background. It's almost dinner time, but we'll push on, mate. And hopefully we can have a win with this, as we had a win against the Bullets on the weekend.
That's right, big win on the weekend. Obviously, it was the Sunday game, first home game. So I hope all the members out there were at the game. Benny, yourself, and myself were in attendance, and come away with the chocolates, 113-93 over the Brisbane Bullets.
Yeah, it was a tremendous victory, and we look forward to talking about it. And look, I'm quite enjoying these podcasts when we win. So if the guys just want to win every single week, I would strongly encourage that.
Sounds good to me, mate. I think winning every week would be ideal.
Okay, so let's go through to the GOAT. So the GOAT award, we put out a Twitter poll. This is, I guess, due to our beer sponsor being GOAT Brewing, and we just thought it would be handy because whoever wins this will be the greatest Phoenix player of all time. So we've got a little drop for this one.
He's a wonderful bloke.
Did you get that to come through? He's a wonderful bloke.
Yeah.
We'll see see how that comes out. So with 66% of the vote, Boydie, who is the wonderful bloke and the winner of this week's GOAT?
John Robertson.
Very good pronunciation there. Not Robertson. Well done.
Obviously, he had a huge game, 9 from 11 from the three-point line, finished off with 30 points, also had a couple of rebounds, 6 assists, just all-round game in 29 minutes and 16 seconds on the court.
It was something to behold to be there, to be honest. I thought it was funny. I guess credit to Mitch Creek, who came in second with 34% of the vote as well. But with Robertson, those 30 points, I'd just say 9 from 11 from 3. Pretty unbelievable. I thought it was interesting that in Simon Mitchell's interview after the game, they said that they had a really good scout in the effect if the Bullets shoot 11 3-pointers, they win, and if they shoot 8 or less, they lose, and we held them to 7. So I'm going to help the Illawarra Hawks out a bit here. If you let John Robertson shoot 9 from 11 from 3, the Phoenix win. So try to keep him to 8, okay? It was unbelievable, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to be there. They were just potting them from everywhere, and then Kendall trumped up with 5 from 7 as well from the three-point line. So we were just smashing it. I think we ended up 50% from the three-point line, 18 from 36 as a team. So you can't argue with that. If you're going to hit that in a NBL game, you're probably going to have a fairly decent chance of winning the game. So.
Yep, unreal. Now, moving on from the GOAT, someone who is potentially just flying under the radar. This is Simon Mitchell's Rock.
Mitchell's Rock.
I'm particularly happy with this one this week.
Set the scene. First quarter, Dane Pineau, foul trouble. What happened?
Dan Pineau had 2 early fouls, I think in the first sort of 3 minutes of the game, I think it was, or even 4 minutes of the game. And so what happens when your big man goes down with a couple of early fouls? You got to sub him out. And that's when Big Keithy came in.
Keithy, guilty.
A few people were writing him off earlier before the season started. Not ideal. I think Homicide even on overtime said that there could be a change in personnel, possibly. He didn't say particularly that it was going to happen, but there was definitely some comments about it. And look, I for one wanted to give Keithy give him a bit of a go. we've heard that he's quite a quiet fella and he's a bit unassuming and not very vocal, etc. So he might look like he doesn't want to be there, but I think his play on the court just told us that he does.
Time to adjust. We have to allow that adjustment time for the new imports. It's just, when you see the impact of someone like Sean Long has on the league, you think, oh, just imagine if we can add that to our lineup. But we've got a team that it seems that people are playing their roles, and we really needed Keith to stand up. I know that we said that Brisbane would be the game if we tie out, that we could probably cope with Brisbane. But I don't want to disrespect the Brisbane Bigs, because Hodgson we rate, but geez, Magnay as well is a presence and I think potentially a future star of this league. So to have Benson come in there, it wasn't just be a big body. He was played a very impressive game. So what do you end up having? 9 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. So actually able to run the play through Big Keithy a bit. That was nice to see. So good on you, Keithy.
That's it. Good on you, Keithy. I think the important thing there was he had a couple of offensive rebounds, which helped us a lot. Of that, put second chance opportunities up, which was always helpful as well.
That's it. So look, we'll just carry on this positivity. These are going to be the other players that lit it up.
These guys were just amazing.
Yes, they were, Simon. So just while I'm going on this lit it up theme, you got stuck into me about bird puns and fire puns, and I think the club's copying me, to be honest. We had the fire pit and everything else like that. So I think there was the article in the Herald Sun. The heading was about Phoenix being on fire. It's just the way to go. I think I'm basically a professional journalist at this stage. But
well, that's it. I think, are you going to come out and tell us all that you're now officially working for the Phoenix or something along those lines, or are you still in your previous position?
No, definitely still unpaid and unimportant for now. But look, kudos. I give kudos to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix media team and their use of puns. So the players that lit it up, can we talk about the whole team here? Oh, we really could. Let's just highlight maybe a few each. Do you want to pick one first, mate, and we'll just roll through like that?
I think one of my highlights at the moment, I've just cracked up laughing, is I can see the dog in the background there, mate. I think she's a little bit hungry.
Yeah, well, we might put this on YouTube. We'll see how we go, and you'll be able to all see Bronte, the little staffy, who's sitting very patiently because she wants her food. So she's well behaved when she wants her food, mate. But who else was well behaved on the court?
First one, you're Michela. What is it?
Krikovic.
Yes, Michela Trukovic.
No, that's not tonight. You have to go with MVP Creek.
Oh, okay.
Because Michela Krikovic shot 1 from 6, so it's only when he's lighting it up that he turns into Krikovic. It's like his hair goes all Super Saiyan, turns into some Krikovic superhero or something like that. But when you go 1 from 6, you're just plain old MVP Creek in my books. But talk about Creaky's game, mate.
1 from 6 from the 3, but he had 25 points all up. On shooting at a decent clip. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals, just all-round dominant sort of performance. He just tore them to shreds at different times, and he was again that player that when Phoenix needed to hit a basket, or needed a defensive stop, he was that man, and he's just filling all the holes. 35 minutes this week, so still a little bit high for my liking in the minutes, but I think I noticed a little bit at the game near the end. I saw a bit of communication, a bit of visual communication between the coach and Creek, and I think he was going to get subbed off, but he sort of put his hand up and said, "No, I'm all good." So obviously showing his teammates.
Yeah, mate. I think that if we hadn't have almost choked the week prior, that it could have been something that Pool Creek, we're comfortable, we know what we're doing, but just to get that. To close a game out like we did, it was good to have Creaky on. But it was, I did also pick that up after the game. But Another reason for that, obviously, Ty Wesley injured. We got Creek playing the 4 at different times. So hopefully we can rest him at different points throughout the year. But unbelievable, Creek, and equal first in the GOAT. Equal first in the GOAT at the moment. So Kendall Threevens, mate. As you said, 5 from 7 from the 3-point line. 3 assists and no turnovers. It was just such an efficient game. We had obviously got brought into the starting lineup, which was nice. The knock on him last game was those turnovers, and he was fantastic. Obviously knocking down 3-point bombs from everywhere with that beautiful arc. It just looks like they were never missing. It was just a thing of beauty, mate. So keep it up, Kendall.
The next one on our list, I guess, is Ben Madgen. Huge game again, real solid. Finished with 13 points, couple of threes, had 9 rebounds. He's really that role that you've put in here, Benny, that it's a bit similar to that Mitch McCarron role. But I think that comes down to desire. And I think he's got the desire to go out there and get those boards and do what he needs to do for this team. You know, he's a seasoned professional. He's been playing in Europe for years, and he played in the NBL before that and won scoring titles, etc. So, but all around, 9 rebounds and also 4 assists in the game. So he's doing everything, Madge. So I know a couple of people accusing him of being the old man or whatever, and he is a bit of an old man, but he's certainly proving his worth, I reckon, at the moment.
Well, that follows up a game of 8 rebounds in the first week, and then he had 8 rebounds, and they've obviously adjusted it to 9 when they do their stats review. But money making Madgen, it's like there is. I love Mitch McCarron. He's a really important player to United, star of the league, and we're getting as good a production out of Ben Madgen at the moment. And I didn't expect it, and it's a wonderful thing with all the extra things that he provides as well, Boyd.
Yep, correct. Who else we got?
Well, obviously, when Dane Pinot came on again, he was really good. Nice and solid. 2 block shots as well. So
yeah, I like it. His defense is pretty good.
Hopefully, he can stay out of foul trouble. I think special mention, though, probably goes to GMAC. Are we going to got to mention him? For those who don't know, the injury replacement player, number 30, with no name on the back, Boyd. I think you picked that up. We've got... I feel really silly right now because I know it's Jeremy. I thought I was going to go with Gerald because it's a G, but Jeremy with a G. McKay. I'll stick with GMAC. Obviously, he straight from the NBL 1 where he averaged 15 points and 8 boards. Just absolute hustle. As soon as he came on, it was, and for him to get that bucket as well, that was good. That was bloody exciting. That was really exciting. And to see his teammates' reactions, because he's obviously not someone that's just flown in. He's been with the team training, as Simon Mitchell said in the post-game press conference. So
I think even he butt heads with Mitch Creek during the week, and they both got cuts on their eyes. I think they put it on the Instagram. So yeah, it was good to see him in there. Good to see him score, and he got a couple of rebounds and played a little bit of D on there as well.
All right. So I think that's probably it as far as people we want to mention for the players that lit up the match. Let's go on to just some more general discussion. So this is the dribble. That was dribble till we all can ball. I don't know how well that's but so what I like to see is that Simon Mitchell did agree with us that if there was any match that we'd have Ty Wesley out, that would be against Brisbane. And I guess we were pretty lucky in that sense. And the guys did really well. Our bigs matched up really well against them, as we've already discussed, I guess, mate.
Yeah, I think we'd done our scouting and we really looked at their opposition and we really played to our strengths and I guess tried to take away their strengths. I know Patterson ended up with... sorry about that, 30 points, something along those lines. But He was none from 6, I think, from the 3-point line. You know, we were putting him off his threes. And no one else really got started. I don't think Glidden scored very much. I took the box score away from myself, but Glidden only had 7 points. Hodgson got into foul trouble, and then not too sure what was happening there. He played less than 10 minutes. Not sure. There's been a few people a bit angry at Lamanis for playing him not many minutes. But yeah, we kind of just played them. We played them all round well, I guess. They were coming off 2 wins in round 1, and 2 wins of their first 2 games, and we just basically took over. We did. There was a couple of times we looked a bit shaky where we had good, decent leads, and they came back and cut the leads back. But then we pressed on and pushed on, and obviously came away with a decent win.
Probably something I'd like to mention was, in contrast to the week before, was the turnovers. We just took care of the ball so much better. Only 9 for the game compared to, that was felt like 9 in the last
19.
quarter last week.
That's right.
19. It was pretty. I was just a much better improvement, and I guess that will come with, I guess, being familiar with each other, Boyd.
Yep, first game as a team, proper season game as well. So I reckon that sort of stuff goes in. I mean, you can have odd games where you have a terrible game like that, and those things happen. But I think the first game we'll give them a pass. We still got the win, even though we had all those turnovers. So, but definitely this game was better.
And it would be remiss of us not to talk about the match day experience. Okay, so
it would,
your
because
thoughts?
We have the best mascot in the NBL. I think it's pretty clear.
Yep, I'd go with Birdman. I think that was very impressive. I thought he was rather humorous. The intro was just sensational. I was pumped up, and it had a very, rock and roll kind of vibe, and I couldn't help but think that the coach has got his influence in there with his love of rock. But he actually, in his post-match, shouted out the DJ, so saying he did a really good job. So he was obviously sitting on the sideline thinking we're doing pretty well, liking the vibe of it. I have seen some mixed reviews on Facebook, I guess, generally overwhelmingly positive, but with something as, I guess, objective as taste in music, you're not going to appease everyone, obviously.
No, you're not going to satisfy everyone. I think a couple of things I saw was about the volume and the amount of music. I think they'll probably get the hang of that eventually. I think the MC's a pretty young fella, so he'll probably take sort of any criticism and commentary, and work that into it as he's going along. But I think it was good. The music choice was good. Maybe a little bit loud for me at certain times, but I was maybe mildly hungover on the day. So,
yeah, I guess we've got a perfect test case here with Boydie, who'd gone to a Bucks party the night before, 4 o'clock in the morning, I think he got home. So pretty sleep deprived, and he managed to get through it okay. So just okay, probably is the best way to describe it. Just. So, look, I thought they did really well, and the atmosphere was fantastic. I think that if there was over 6,000 people there.
Huge.
I think the Illawarra game was a Monday night, which would have killed Illawarra. I'm sure they're spewing about that. But they only had a couple of thousand. There was only a couple of thousand at the Bullets game as well. So fantastic, I guess, by the Phoenix fans to come out in the numbers that they did. And no doubt they'll be back this weekend. Cold turkey, I don't think we have any cold turkey this week. The only thing I'm going to put on is Simon Mitchell. Play Dengakuth in some minutes in some blowout. And I know that he actually said this, that he wishes he could have got him some minutes. So maybe that's who he was planning to bring on for Creaky at the end.
Possibly.
Now that we know how to close out a game, hopefully next time we can see Dengakuth, because he's a player I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I reckon that. There's one more cold turkey there. What did you have to say?
Oh, am I going to go with that? Look,
go with it.
Important things. It's not cold turkey, but more chicken, the other form of meat. I could not find a single thing of chicken tenders and chips at the game. They're a staple.
That's it. The Melbourne United games we went to last year, they had the chicken strips and chips. We couldn't find them this year, or this season, or this game. Sorry. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, small, but things can be improved.
Important.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
small
so.
but important.
Especially if you're hungover or something like
that. Well, they're my favourite. So especially if they're your favourite as well, because those chicken strips are very tasty.
All right. So, burning questions.
Lit up like a matchstick.
These burning questions are lit up like a matchstick, and the burning questions are coming into the game next week against the Illawarra Hawks, my friend. We have seen us play a game against the Illawarra Hawks in Albury, and it was atrocious.
It certainly was.
How can we prevent that from happening again? Is it as simple to say that Mitch Creek makes that much of a difference to our team, and that will be fine?
Yeah, I think that was a different thing as well. We played in Albury, and the Hawks got us 109 to 98. Creek didn't play, obviously, and he's been a huge difference in the first couple of rounds, as we all know. So I think that will be a key. So who knows? I think the guards ripped us up last time. I think LaMelo played really well. I think he had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and just looked awesome.
You think he had that?
Yeah, I think I've got the right score up here. Josh Boone in that game, though, had 22 points and 8 rebounds and 6 assists. Now, if anyone was watching the game last night, Josh Boone obviously went down with a stray elbow from teammate Tim Conrad. He's broken his nose, so there's a broken nose, and B, a concussion issue possibly there. So it'd be interesting to see if Boone comes up, seeing as it is an away game for the Illawarra Hawks. They've got to fly down to Melbourne for the game on Saturday night. For that reason, I think Boone won't play.
If that's the case, I think that provides us a massive opportunity, and almost fortunate again without Ty Wesley if we're going to get Ogilvy and Sampson trolling as their bigs, and DA, of course, a different type, not that physical inside presence as much as he's a stretch 4 type player. But so hopefully we'll match up a bit better. But you're right, it was the guards that absolutely annihilated us, because their guards are big and physical and athletic, and it really our guys are obviously a bit undersized, and when you don't have that chemistry to create space and you're turning balls over on dribble handoffs and all because we shot the ball from better than 50% from 3 that game as well, but we just couldn't stop them. They were too physical. They were LaMelo was just running amok. So look, he's been difficult to stop so far. That form's sort of been carried on throughout the year with LaMelo and his performances so far. So I think we've got to just stop him being that distributor and really make him shoot the 3 ball, which he has been struggling a little bit so far this year.
Yep, agreed. Also noted in that Albury game, Brooks didn't play, and last night he played really well, scored easily. He makes them a little bit smaller, obviously, because he's shorter and skinnier than Ball, and a couple of other guards. So, but they only got the win by a point over Cairns, who are, according to people, one of the bottom sort of teams. So hopefully at home for the Phoenix, we can get away with another win.
Absolutely, mate. Anyone else that you're concerned about, apart from those 2 star guards? They're just a young, talented team, but I think that I'm pretty certain that the odds will have us favourites, and hopefully that means 3 on the trot to start the season, my friend.
That's it. I think we just got to play the tight D again, like we did for a lot of the game on Sunday. If we play like that again, I'm hopeful that we get the win. So we just got to stick to that, defend and rebound, and then see how we go.
All right, man. I think that should probably just about do it. Do you want to plug the socials?
Yeah, so as always, you can find us on Twitter, which is @Phoenix_Blokes, or alternatively, we've got our Facebook, which is just Phoenix Blokes. Till next time.
Rise up.